Pastor McLean, Katisime, Riyonga, and with me is
Answaro Isabella McLean.
And like we promised the last time, today we are going to be talking about why you need a lawyer.
Okay, so the first question we are going to look at today is, when do you need a lawyer? I'm going to tell you that you need a lawyer at all times. However, you'll mostly need a lawyer when you're faced with a criminal matter or a civil matter. And I'm going to break that down for you. In civil matters, this is where an individual is dragged to court because you have wronged another party, and they usually want compensation or damages from that party. So in criminal law, this is where an individual commits an offense against the state, and usually the first thing for you to do when you're faced with whether you're faced with a criminal charge is for you to contact your lawyer. And that's why it's important for you to always have a lawyer, because you don't need a lawyer at the end, or you don't need a lawyer when you face a problem. You always need a lawyer to be there, because most times a lawyer is going to prevent what could have happened. When you're faced with this criminal charge, your lawyer is going to help you, take you through every process of what you're supposed to do from the very beginning until the end. Yeah, so it's always important for you to have a lawyer all the time. Civil law includes many areas, and these include land, includes intellectual property, it includes commercial transactions, it includes real estate, family matters. It's a lot that comes under civil law, so you always need a lawyer, like at any point. Under all these areas of the law, you need a lawyer. So take an example in a land matter, you need a lawyer whether, let's say, you're going to buy land. You don't need a lawyer when you've already bought land. You need a lawyer when you start thinking about buying a certain piece of land. So yeah, that's why you need a lawyer in every matter, whether civil or criminal matter. And also every legal work and every paperwork needs you to have a lawyer. So a lawyer is always going to be there to help you do all the legal work, drafting. Yeah.
Why do you need a lawyer? There are so many reasons as to why you need a lawyer, but I'm going to highlight for you the major ones. First of all, let's agree that we all can't know everything, and our job as lawyers is to do that for you, to have the knowledge. So there are so many things that we would know that you wouldn't. There are so many mistakes that you would make if it wasn't for having a lawyer. Then there are also people that are illiterate, and you'd need someone you can trust, someone who can translate for you and explain to you so that you're not cheated or anything like that. And the other reason as to why you'd need a lawyer is it makes things easier for you and faster for you. There are some things that are so legal and so complicated that if a normal person chases the same, it would take much longer as opposed to a lawyer who knows how it should be according to the law. And then there's also the technicalities that are involved, like drafting documents, and lawyers, we are trained to do that. So any transaction that would require a document, the best person who would do that for you is a lawyer. Then lastly, to ensure that whatever you're doing as a citizen is within the confines of the law, the best person who would actually guide you is a lawyer.
How to relate with your lawyer? It's basically how you want to be related with, how you want your lawyer to treat you is how you should treat them. First of all, you need to respect and give your lawyer courtesy. You can't have a lawyer, you come to me, consult me, you go to McLean, consult her, you go to another lawyer and consult them about the same matter. You have to be cautious, you have to trust your lawyer, you have to respect them, and I think that's how you're going to work together very well. And yeah, then you also need to honor your fee arrangement with your lawyer. As much as we don't want lawyer crooks or lawyers that are going to extort money from clients. We also want and would wish for clients to respect their lawyers. If you've agreed on a certain amount of money, the lawyer probably needs it to run your case. So you have to respect your lawyer and respect your agreement with them. So you also have to keep in constant communication with your lawyer so that you know what is going on. If you have a matter with a lawyer, you have to know what is going on. So you have to keep in constant communication with them so that you get an update of your matter. As much as your lawyer is also supposed to keep in touch with you, you as a client should also take it upon yourself to be in touch with your client so that you know what's going on with your case. We are also going to look at what to consider when you're choosing a lawyer. And first of all, you have to make research. You don't just see a lawyer on TV because they talk a lot. You don't just meet a lawyer on the one they tell you they are lawyers and you just give them your issues. You have to make research. You have to contact friends. So you really need to make sure that before you zero down on a particular lawyer, you have made enough research, you know a lot about them, and you have enough information about that specific lawyer. The second thing is you have to look at your budget. As a client, of course, there's a certain budget. You have a certain budget that you cannot go beyond. And different lawyers and different law firms have different prices of their services. And also different lawyers and different law firms have different strengths. Different lawyers major in different fields of the law. So there's a good lawyer for criminal law and there's a good lawyer for intellectual property. So, and you'll need, like we said in the first point, that you have to make enough research. The budget bit comes under there, and so it is important for you to know which lawyer falls in your budget so that you don't have to complain at the end of the day when something has not gone the way you expected it to go. So from, like we had mentioned in the first point, that you need to make enough research. So if you've actually done enough research, you need to find a lawyer whose honesty and whose integrity is not questionable. And that will help you not have issues with them. Okay, issues might come up, but there are less chances of having issues with your lawyer when you've made enough research. And all these you'll only find out when you do the research. You'll find out the lawyer is patient, maybe they're willing to listen.
There are very many misconceptions that people have about the legal profession. The obvious one is the fact that lawyers are frauds, lawyers are liars, lawyers are cheats. That's not true. That's just a misconception. People think, oh, they'll cheat you, they'll do this. But that stems from the fact that someone has either not made research, like my colleague has mentioned, or they're just biased or negative, you know. Then there's another misconception that lawyers are mainly male. But you've seen me and Isabella here. We are female, and I believe we are pretty good lawyers. And the other misconception is the fact that legal services are expensive. So what you do is go around being your own lawyer, push this, push that. Then once you've made a mistake, you rush to get a lawyer. That is how it gets expensive, because there are so many mistakes that you have made along the same transaction. But if you acquired a lawyer from the very beginning, then there's nothing like it's expensive, because it is going to help you avoid all the mistakes that you could have made.